26th. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme Putting Dominica First, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that boat serving me, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, a Sunday. February 1st, the Grand Four Plainfield. Putting Dominica First, the United Workers' Party.
I just me call me in Roswell again. Same place outside Flossie. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Saka fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. To pack I expect him, why? When I get him up here for Palais, I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it toujours.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Toffee snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Dominica, good afternoon to you. As I said, if it's on the block, we'll talk about it. You know, everything comes to my phone. A lot of messages. I just got a message there that a dog biting incident in the Champagne area, biting a tourist. Those in charge, take note. Imagine that, huh? Those loose dogs have to be brought under control. I just thought I would start off with that. I just got the message that about a dog biting incident with a tourist in the Champagne area. Well, we're here with Dr. Thompson Fontaine. He'll be here with us for a little while. I want to tell him at this time, Dr. Fontaine, a big weekend ahead, but we have not seen you in a couple of days. So bring us up to date. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
Matt, good afternoon to you and to your many listeners. It's good to be with you this afternoon. You may be hearing a crackling sound. That sound is me defrosting from the very end of the cold. Yes, went from a deep freeze.
I've heard that.
Yeah, certainly one of the worst storms in the U.S. in many, many years. I went through that a couple of days ago. So I'm happy to be here. It's a bit hot. It's extremely hot, but at least it's better than the Fuedi. It's a lot better. So it's great to be here. And let me just say, thanks for the opportunity to be able to talk to our people here. And as you indicated, we're getting set for the big weekend on Friday, on Sunday, the 1st of February. All roads lead to Grand Four, and we're very excited about the planning that is taking place in that regard as we go forward. But Matt, you asked about my most recent trip to the United States. So
Everybody
as I
wants
had
to know about
indicated,
that.
yes, Matt, it's very interesting. I can't indicate every meeting that I held or those that I was able to talk with, but very interesting discussions. I say interesting in the sense that it was more a fact finding mission to know exactly what's going on with us, what the prospects are going forward, and I hate to be the bearer of good news, but from everything that I heard, it does appear as if things will get worse before
You don't want to be the bearer of bad
news.
Yes,
Of
that's
bad
what
news.
that's what you wanted to say.
That's not what I said.
No, you said of good news.
Of good news.
I was wondering what you
I don't want to be of bad news. Well, I have good news, but it will come a little later.
Okay.
But yeah, things will get worse before they get better. But what I was able to do is I was able to bring very clearly some of the concerns that we have with regards to the refugee situation, the third-party refugees coming back into Dominica, concerns we have about the impact of the partial ban on Dominica. Made it very clear that this is not something that the people of Dominica wished upon themselves, and that if there is any way or any opening where that can be changed. But it does appear the circumstances that got us there, unless those circumstances are addressed, then it looks like we will not be able to move forward. And that's why I say it does not look promising with regards to any early relief on that front.
Circumstances to say what? Include what?
To include basically taking some drastic action on the CBI, because that is at the bottom of the concerns.
Because when I last spoke to the Prime Minister, he seemed to indicate that one of the problems was the residency issue, and I learned there from the Prime Minister in Grenada that it involves more. So
it's interesting because if you look at the proclamation itself, it talks about a number of other things. It talks about the due diligence. It talks about the fact that persons of dubious character and so on, criminals, are getting access to the passport. The fact that there is not enough control on the process itself, all of that is listed. However, when they talked about the action that was required, they specified the residency criteria. This one, if you ask me, is probably the most difficult one to address, and that's where it brings us to, because how do you address the residency criteria? How do you change a program that before says we will bring your passport to you wherever you are, to one where you have to come to Dominica and spend a year or 6 months? Because bear in mind, in the case of Antigua and Barbuda, they did have a residency criteria for 30 days, but that was not enough. So it means that for it to make sense, it has to be more than the length of time you would give a tourist. So we're talking about 6 months to a year. So the question is, can you really fix that? And if you impose that, do the people looking for the CBI passport, are they willing to come to Dominica and spend 6 months of their lives or a year of their lives? And I think the fact that there were other issues raised, but the issue that the government of Dominica is supposed to address is the residency criteria, tells you that it's not going to happen.
Let me allow you to hear from the last interview we did there, or the first interview we did there for the year, what Mr. Skerrit had to say there. Let's move quickly. Are you there?
There was a specific point. They didn't raise any other issue with the CBI program. The specific point the United States raised was that our Dominica's program does not have a residency component. It did not say it lacked transparency. It did not say it lacked due diligence. They said that we do not have a residency. So we're addressing this matter with the United States. And of course, in the conversation, other things will come up. It is left to the United States to tell me if there are other issues which they have. It is not for me to speculate in the public domain because I'm not aware of any other issue that we have in the United States or any issue for that matter. So in the conversation that we'll be having, if there are points that they're raising for us, we are open to engaging the United States and working with them towards addressing whatever issues they may have with us, so that the issue of the visa suspension can be set aside, and then we will have no real impediment towards applying for visas of any kind to go to the United States. Mark you, all of us who currently have visas, we can travel to the United States. There's no restriction on that. That continues to be in place. And so we'll continue to engage, and I am very confident that we will find a resolution on this matter with the United States, and that they will set aside the suspension.
Is Mr. Skerritt being economical with the truth there?
Matt, what I'll say is that certainly there are other issues that have been raised, and they are specified in the proclamation. As I said, due diligence has been a big and real issue for the Americans as individuals.
So why is Mr. Skerritt straying away from these issues?
Well, you see, because Matt, the way the proclamation is structured, it does indicate, rightly so, that what the governments have to do is to focus on the residency criteria. So he's right in that regard. It does not mean that other issues were not raised. All that they're saying is that if you want to have this partial ban lifted, you have to deal with that particular issue. So that's the one they focus on. So they have a list of concerns that they have, but they're saying, okay, the one we really want you to deal with is the one dealing with the residency criteria. Okay, but as I've already explained to you, that's the one I believe that's the most difficult to fix. Because you're not going to change the culture of the CBI program overnight. You're not going to get people to come here for a year waiting for a passport. What are they going to do in the years during that period? How are we going to enforce it? So it's a lot of issues, and the thing that another thing that I really stressed very much to the authorities in the U.S. is the hardships that have been placed upon ordinary traveling Dominicans. One person who traveled for a conference, he was given 5 days. 5 days. Whereas before, once you step into the US, you'll get your automatic 6 months, whether you're going for a conference or to visit or whatever it is. They gave 5 days because of the Dominica visa. People have been questioned increasingly. So whereas before they would hardly ask you about your income, whether you have enough money to sustain yourselves. Now they're asking those questions. And not only are they asking you, do you have money? They want to see, they want proof that you have enough money to actually enter the United States. And in addition to that, people's visas have been canceled. Even some people, even whilst in the US. I know of 2 individuals who got letters indicating their visas were canceled. And it has to do with apparently they have been tasked with going back to all of the visas that have been issued in the past to see if persons lied on their visa applications, if there are some issues now with persons' social media content, different kind of checks that they're conducting, and they're revoking some of those visas. So all of that scrutiny is being brought to bear on us, and I do not see that ending anytime soon.
And I was just being told a story before while I was on the break that some parents were actually thinking of sending their students to study in the States, and right now they have to think twice as to where do that child go. I mean, to study is a real strain for a lot of parents.
Unless they had their visa already, they are not going to get a new visa right now. There is a complete halt on visa applications, and in addition to that, what we have had additionally is the halt on that they've now placed on green card processing. They call it a pause. So that persons who were in line for the green cards will not now be able to get it. And no one knows how long that pause will last for. Will it last for a month, for 3 months, or a year? We don't know.
Very, very serious issues there. And as I said, a lot of students, I went to school in the States, actually look forward to going to study in the United States for some reason.
Matt, because for one thing, it is a lot easier. A lot of people have family there as well in the United States, so that can cut down on your cost if you have somewhere to stay, and so on. And also, just because of the familial relationships that we've had over the years with the United States, that's one of the better places to study. Some of the best schools in the world. You have the opportunity, a number of persons use the opportunity to get work afterwards. So I'm sure more than 80% of those who go to study do not come back right away because they're able to legally stay on and work after study. So that's a great opportunity for people who otherwise will not find options. So it is something that we are really going to suffer for, and especially now for young people. I really feel for the young people, that were, did their hard work, up to probably the state college, and we're looking forward now to step into the world, get a first degree or second degree, and get some work in the United States under the belt. And now that is out of reach for them, at least for now.
And even in UK itself, we need visas to go to the UK.
Yeah, the UK is another story. I mean, something that we had enjoyed all the while, we never had a problem with, but again, because of the same problems with the CBI program, we are now not able to go freely to the United Kingdom. It's now more difficult. You have to go through that visa process.
So you're saying CBI is definitely the egg on the table there?
CBI is the concern, and I listened very carefully to the Prime Minister as he tried to make it look like, that will pass, that's just a minor thing. We'll deal with the situation and we'll get them to lift the partial ban. What I'm hearing, Matt, is not going to happen. My concern, and I'm not saying that I was told that, but from my own observations and listening between the lines and so on, it seems to me that it might get worse.
We're in for the long haul.
And what that basically means is that the partial ban could by the end of June become a full ban. And when you have a full travel ban in your country, it is infinitely worse, because now, for example, right now, if you already have a visa, you can still travel. Mm-hmm. If you already have a student visa, you can still go to school. However, if it moves to a full ban, nobody travels. Whether you have had a visa, it could even apply, and if they want to, they could even apply it to green card holders. So if you're outside of the country, when the ban is imposed, you may not be able to re-enter the country. So a full ban takes it to a whole other level in terms of the pain, in terms of the suffering. But what is even worse about the full ban is, and already we see that happening even with the partial ban, is the whole effect on travel, in the sense that Americans, where there are full bans, countries with full bans, Americans tend not to travel there. Okay, they automatically, in fact, I saw a warning from one of the largest Black travel groups in the United States, warning their members not to travel to Dominica, even with the partial ban.
Not to travel.
And they were basing that on the refugee situation, the possibility that we'll be taking in third-party deportees. And they said, well, we have no ability to monitor them. We don't have the infrastructure. These could be criminals coming into the country, so they could be at risk. And so when you have a full ban in place, then it makes it very, very difficult. That's going to have a devastating impact on our economy. It's going to devastate our cruise ship industry, our tourism sector, definitely, on which we depend. 85 to 90% of our hotel rooms depend on tourists from the United States. And it's going to happen. And normally, like when I travel, normally I come back with a lot of tourists. There were only two tourists, like white tourists, if you want to call it that, on the flight yesterday. And it tells me already that this thing is biting. So it has a huge implication for the economy. And I somehow get the sense that the Prime Minister does not seem to understand the gravity of this thing and how serious it is, and how serious the Americans are taking this, in terms of they thought that they had been offering warnings. They thought that they have been making it clear that something needed to be done, and nothing is done to really take care of that. So I'm really, really concerned about it. And somehow I get the sense that I don't see the urgency on the part of the Prime Minister in dealing with that particular issue, because it's a big issue.
But you are in the opposition. You're not rejoicing. You're just saying, feel sorry for Dominica.
I feel sorry, man. I mean, the reason why I went was to give my concerns, to explain from a very, very independent viewpoint what the impact could be on Dominica, and if there's any way that can be lifted on us. I mean, absolutely not. It does mean no. I mean, there are other ways to remove this Prime Minister than through this, and I have absolutely no joy in this. I think it's a hardship on the people of Dominica. It's a hardship on even our people who want to travel from the United States to Dominica and back. They're having second thoughts. Should I travel? One person texted me and says, imagine the person has a passport. They said, I'm a Dominican with a US passport. Should I come to Dominica? Can I travel? That's the kind of questions people are asking, so there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear. And I could never rejoice in that. I think it's terrible what has happened. I wish we had acted differently with regards to our CBI, because we have been warning about it for many, many years. I wish the Prime Minister had taken heed. He did not, but that's where we are, and the question is, how do we get out of it? And all I'm saying is that based on those discussions I've had, I do not see a quick end to it.
So Thompson Fontaine is the Prime Minister tomorrow. How do you resolve this?
How I resolve it, Matt, is by really taking a closer look at the CBI program, as I've already indicated.
Some people say
publicly.
You should end it. You should just end it.
No, it's not practical. It's certainly not practical to end it right away, because remember, you have persons in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
You have persons who have already paid their fees, for example, and so on. You have to do it gradually. You have to do it in a way that will not impose a shock, because that will be a shock to the economy. 60% of the income of a country to pay public servants, to pay your nurses, to pay your NEP workers, to pay your police officers. The majority of that money is coming from the CBI program. If that disappears tomorrow, you have a real problem on your hands. So it's not a question of just cutting. It's not a pipe where you can just shut it off. It's something that has to be done. And so what I would do, the assurance that, and that is something when asked, I made it very clear that the United Workers' Party, Team Dominica government will look to phasing out this program as quickly as possible. That has been my official comment to the authorities, to the US authorities, a phasing out of the program.
Dr. Fontaine, what's the latest on the CBI case before the court?
Well, we had a hearing yesterday, it was kind of a case management in court yesterday, and the court has ruled that the trial will begin on the 23rd of February. So in roughly 3 weeks, in just over 3 weeks, the trial, the CBI, Bernie Ryan versus the government of Dominica, will get underway in the High Court. So we are very excited about that. That's a real trial where our lawyers will be coming down to argue. The lawyers, of course, from the other side, and we'll have this exchange in the court. So we are very excited about that. That's good progress for us, because we were concerned that it would have been tied up in delays and so on. But this judge,
But given what is happening now with the CBI program, do you think that's added ammunition for you guys?
Well, what it will do, I think it will probably push the government to, well, I'm hoping that they will go according to what the court decide. Because at the end of the day, we are asking certain things of the judge, and that is
more transparency.
Is not a jury trial. It's a judge. It's in front of a judge you're arguing. So at the end of the day, the judge is the one who's going to make the decision. Do I now compel the government to bring all of these monies into the CBI, into the consolidated fund of the government, all the monies we have already? And we know we have money out there, because we know that significant, if not 90% of the CBI coming through the citizenship, through the investment part of the program. Because as you know, we have two parts where you can just get a passport and you give the 100,000 to the government, or you can invest in some real estate. That portion where you invest in real estate is handled by Anthony Hayden. So a significant portion of the monies that otherwise would be coming to the treasury is diverted to Anthony Hayden. So we know that we have significant millions out there.
And you have no doubt that we have a lot of monies out there.
Absolutely, Matt. Yes, based on the number of passports sold. So we are asking the judge to compel firstly, to give us the terms of the contract. What is it that the government of Dominica signed on that would allow all of the monies coming through that portion of the program to go through Anthony Hayden instead of coming through the treasury? And secondly, we want every single cent that can be proven came out of the sale of a Dominica passport, either directly through the revenue option or directly through the investment in real estate portion, that all of that must come back to the treasury.
A lot of critics say that you are the ones responsible for, the situation of the CBI fiasco. In other words, you're one, but you keep talking about it. Yeah.
Matt, I'll tell you something. One of the things I found out is that the Americans know a lot more than we do. You listen to them and you realize they know more. I'm like, my goodness, these guys know more than we even know. Don't believe that they're waiting to listen to us.
There's a lot of finger pointing.
But it's because people don't understand the way those things work. When the prime minister makes a pronouncement, or when the prime minister says something, it is picked up elsewhere. I have had certain things the prime minister said I was not even aware of got thrown back at me. Okay, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize that was even said. But things that you might say overseas sometimes, it is recorded somewhere, it is collected somewhere. So I think the people in Dominica, and especially some of our people here in Dominica, some of them, they don't understand the complexities of this thing. But the way it works, man, it does not depend on us. It does not depend on the US authorities or the Europeans waiting to hear what we say about the program, but based upon what they know. So, for example, as I told you, the United Kingdom did not wait to hear what we were saying to put visa restrictions. They imposed visa restrictions when 4 Russians that they had expelled out of the United Kingdom because of criminal activity were able to get back into the country on Dominican passports. That is when they ended the visa-free entry for Dominica. That had nothing to do with us here in Dominica. That was a direct violation of their country security situation, and they acted. Similarly, in Canada, the Canadians did a similar thing. When a plane load of Chinese-speaking Dominicans came, and not one of them could speak English, all right, and they decided that they were going to end the CBI program. They were going to end the visa program for Canada. So it's not us. I think it is very unfair that anybody should be pointing hands at the opposition and say, well, we are responsible. No, we are not. We are where we are because of the irresponsible behavior of the Prime Minister of Dominica.
And I remember you warning from 2010.
Yes, man. In fact, I was sued for my efforts. You remember that? I was still in the United States when I got a knock at my door, and there was a bailiff serving me papers that I was sued over the CBI program because I had dared to speak out against it. And I was taken to court by the Prime Minister. Roosevelt Skerritt against versus Thompson Fontaine. Just Google it. It's still there. Just that it has not seen the light of day through our court system, But I was sued because, and that was 2010. That's 15 years ago, So I believe that the Prime Minister had more than enough time to deal with this issue. He had more than enough time to sort this out in a way that you would not have these security breaches that I spoke about, specifically in the United Kingdom. You would not have the situation in the United States where one of the most notorious criminals, when he was caught, he was processing his visa application to Dominica. So this has been documented by the US authorities in exactly what is going on, and that is why. And the person that is wholly and solely responsible, in other words, the only person responsible for where we are right now, Matt, is Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt.
You have no doubt about that.
Absolutely not. If anybody wants to blame anybody, that is the person. He is responsible because he could have done something about it. He did nothing.
I just heard that that Madueke case is on in the UK.
Yeah, interesting. That's another, and that's something else. It was reported that our Prime Minister allegedly hand-delivered a diplomatic passport to Madueke in March of 2015. And it was alleged that up to $2 million may have exchanged hands. No, that is not far-fetched, because this same Madueke just came out in the court 2 days ago that she spent $4 million at Harrods for shopping. $4 million shopping, buying stuff at one of the biggest supermarket. How we call them, retailers in the United Kingdom. It just came out in court. So it's not far-fetched to believe that she may have spent $2 million on a diplomatic passport. She got the diplomatic passport in March of 2015. She was arrested in October of 2015. She thought that the diplomatic passport would have given her access, or she would not have been arrested, diplomatic immunity.
Yes.
But the UK authorities basically said, well, you're not assigned to our country. You are the trade representative, you're the trade commissioner for Dominica, but you're not the trade commissioner appointed to the United Kingdom. And as such, she had no immunity, and that's why she's facing trial today.
I'm just reading a text message, a story that Texas freezes fresh H-1B visas at state colleges, agencies to protect workers. More more ammunition there. In other words, our students are not able to get the jobs that they're looking for.
Right, because what the H-1HB visa does is that it allows you, if you're
A student.
a student, to be able to work. For example, when I studied in the United States, when I was doing my PhD program, I was able to work because of the kind of visa that I had. So that allowed me to be able to work. So it means that you will not be able to work. You will not be able to, and they're just tightening up. So, if, for example, you're a student who took a loan, for example, here, and you're helping, you could be working and helping to repay your loan if your parents are not capable, or now you don't even have that option. So it makes it difficult. That's why I say, man, that's a lot of pain that we are going through. And one of my laments, of course, was, why is it that the entire country has to be paying the price? Couldn't there be a directed
Policy towards
policy?
towards
Or
government officials?
sanction? Why not sanction those who are responsible for this action? That was one of the questions I posed, which I did not get a satisfactory answer for. But that is something I was saying. I said it seems a little bit unfair that we are
Peter Pan for Paul.
that the innocent students, innocent persons wanting to travel to the US cannot do so because of that policy of the
Another
government.
requirement was getting the Cuban brigade, because I just saw Mr. Brown inviting a lot of Ghanaian nurses, because to one of the requirements again that you needed to get the Cubans out. But that is a very serious challenge for us because of our health system.
It is, and I understand from what I read, the Prime Minister has said that he will not expel the Cubans. The Antiquans have done it. He said he will not expel them because of the damaging impact it will have. And he gave the statistics in terms of the number of Cuban nurses and doctors and how that would severely impact the thing. It's not clear to me if you will get a buy on this one. It was not clear. We inquired about that, but it's not clear whether what's going to happen there.
Oh boy, Matt, as I was just indicating there, Matt, one of the requirements concerns was the conditions, arrangements under which the Cubans work. It equates to human trafficking. As such, the Prime Minister was asked to squash it, such a program, and send them back. My understanding is that to this date, they has not met that requirement. He realized that Gaston Brown, as you just indicated, quickly adhere and get there quickly to send the Cubans back where they belong. But let's go back to the telephone. I know a lot of people have been trying to call. We have a lot of issues, common issues to talk about, but we can take a few calls on this one. Hello, talk to me. Hello? A few people have been calling there. Again, the numbers are 449-3095. I'm giving you 5 minutes to...
Yes, on the visa, on the Cuban brigade issue, and people may be wondering, what is that human trafficking the US is talking about? What the US explained is that the Cuban medical people who come here, they only get a fraction of their wage. So they get a fraction of what they are due to them, and the rest is paid to the US, to the Cuban government. So that's the human trafficking aspect. They think that the Cuban government is profiting unnecessarily from the labor of the Cuban workers, health workers.
Now, did you find out anything? Somebody's asked me, read the number of tuition fees the government is owing the US at this time. Did you?
No, we did not discuss that.
Okay.
It's not
all right.
Sure.
449-3095. Are you there, caller? Yes? Are you there?
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon to Dr. Fountain.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, gentlemen, that idea of who is responsible, that is where I have been saying we want to pinpoint that person. And it is all directed towards Roosevelt Skerrit. Roosevelt Skerrit has been issuing diplomatic passports to the likes of Madueke and others. Roosevelt Skerrit I don't see who else in the government would have such an authority or such audacity to issue a passport to anyone, especially someone who fails the due diligence. I can only see that it is Roosevelt Skerrit who would do that. So, like you said, it is pointing to Roosevelt Skerrit, the fake doctor. Enough said.
All right, thank you again. 449-3095-96 and 97. Of course, we also spoke about the last interview we did about the economy, and I was basically saying at least one of you getting fat and one of you looking like they're making a lot of money, and he actually put a joke on you. He said that when you spoke about this lady at the supermarket, you should have made an attempt to pay that.
But at that rate, I would be broke. It happens so often. if every time I see somebody in that predicament, I push by my pocket,
But
I'll be broke.
you have done it before.
I've done it before. Yes, I've certainly done it. Before. But I said it, to bring light to how difficult the economy is, and that was the point I was making. And I hope the Prime Minister did not miss that point. That the economy is so difficult.
So that's a reflection of the economy.
It's a reflection of the economy that people are truly struggling in this country. I mean, they're really struggling. Imagine, Matt, I was having a discussion just this afternoon as I was coming there to your program. And we were talking about Domlec, moving the not cutting your lights on the weekends, and that's an issue for a lot of people. Somebody said, man, that's a big issue for some people. That they could lose their lights on a weekend because they don't have the money, probably waiting for Monday to get some money, and that is how bad it is. So yeah, I hope that point was not missed, because that is something that we certainly would like to stress. But Matt, I also have a very important point I wanted to make about the CBI before we leave that topic altogether. And the Prime Minister has said repeatedly that the CBI is responsible for the international airport. That is what is funding that's his word. That the CBI is what is funding the international airport. And then lately he has taken to the airwaves to accuse persons, especially those who are talking up against the mining at Desbranches, accusing them of not wanting an international airport. But I'm saying, well, wait a minute. The Prime Minister took over 20 years to initiate an international airport. When he came into office, he found the plans laid out by the United Workers' Party for an international airport. If he was interested, he should have built that airport. That airport should have been built since 2000 when he came in. He should have just continued the work of the United Workers' Party to build the international airport. Instead, he waited 20 years. And now he's accusing people of not wanting an international airport. Didn't Prime Minister not figure out that an international airport is critical to the development of this country 20 years ago? He's coming to the party right now, making it look as if he always wanted an international airport. But that is not the case, because he had, CBI flows were being generated over all of those years. He could have gone into the airport, and I cannot believe that you cannot, as a Prime Minister, you could not find an agency or a company that could do what we call a BOT, build, operate, and transfer. They come, they have the resources, they build the airport, they operate it for 30, 40 years, and then they transfer it over to your government. I can't believe you could not negotiate that all of those years. So to accuse people of not wanting an international airport, I think is just really, really sad, and really should stop making those accusations.
On the telephone, are you there? Yes.
Max, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. Thomas Fontaine. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Matt, just to elaborate on a point Dr. Fontaine raised, I heard he mentioned Madueke and Harrods. Now, Harrods is the biggest departmental store in the United Kingdom. It is where the Queen of England shops. So if Madueke spent $4 million, I'm not surprised. Dr. Fontaine, when you are with Sebastian on the sports program, you often heard me mentioning about the Harrodian Cricket Club I played for. That is the club I played for. It's not called Harrods, the Harrodian Cricket Club. You've heard me mention about my first centuries.
Oh, yes. Right, with the big wigs, man.
Yes, when you talk about Harrods, that is the Harrodian Cricket Club. I've been there twice. It's a huge department store, very expensive. King of
on Oxford Road, right on Oxford.
Yes. So when Madueke is, I'm not surprised. I just want to let you know that.
Yes, indeed.
Take care, my boy. Take care. All right.
Let's take another call. Are you there? Yes.
Yes.
Are you there, caller? Yes. Turn down the volume on your radio, please, or your whatever source you're listening at. Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My question to Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Fontaine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Now, my question is about the airport and the financing of the airport. Okay? The Prime Minister told us, I remember when that signing took place at the Windsor Park, that we have enough money in the CBI to pay for this is the only airport that's going to be built without debt. And I would like you to explain how did the Chinese ambassador back in November explain that the Chinese are building? Or secondly, how passports are Mr. Anthony Hayden in order to sell passports in order to make money for the airport. What is the real truth about how is that airport being funded? And what is the truth about increasing the cost as we go along? And no accountability to the people. That, I think, is a big challenge. And then what is the agreement as to who is building, who's going to manage, and all of the economic aspects of it. So you may have some light on that. Can you brief us on it? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
And again, I just encouraging the callers, when you call, turn down your radio or your television set at the back. It creates some feedback. I've said that how many times? Yes, go ahead, Doctor.
Yes, Matt. So I just want to clarify something. The Prime Minister indicated that the airport has been funded through the CBI program. But what he did is that he went ahead and he hired the contractors, the person to build this airport as a Chinese company, CR5, Chinese Railway Company number 5. So they're the ones that are building this airport, we are told by the Prime Minister, with CBI funds. But it does appear that increasingly, as the CBI, it appears that the CBI resources are dwindling. What we have seen of late is, and it seems that there is an understanding, I say an understanding by the Chinese government that they will not allow the project to fail, in the sense that if CBI money is run out, there is a kind of a token agreement or arrangement that they will provide the funding for it. So I hope that clarifies it. So the fact that they are Chinese, it does not mean it's Chinese funding. It just means that the Chinese that were hired to do the construction.
But I've been told to Thompson Fontaine, from some American sources, that the Trump administration, and we've seen it, they're not too happy with our current relationship with China. That's another big problem.
Matt, there is what is, in fact, the Monroe Doctrine is what is operating now in the United States. Or it used to be the Monroe Doctrine, and it has to do with what they call the sphere of influence. In other words, superpowers tend to want to control what's happening in their backyard. As an American, so for that's the reason why when in the 1960s, when the Russians put missiles on Cuba, we almost had the Third World War. Because the Americans said under no conditions would they allow missiles to be just 90 miles away from the United States. And Kennedy almost went to war with Khrushchev over this. This sphere of influence is very important to the United States. So what they have been saying to the Caribbean countries is that you need to choose. You need to choose if you're going to be friends of the Chinese and the Russians or friends of the Americans. Because as far as Donald Trump is concerned, his policy is to ensure that this sphere of influence in the Caribbean is intact, and that has some resonance with regards to what happened with Venezuela. That was part of that thinking, Venezuela, and he's made it very clear to the rest of the islands in the Caribbean. So I suspect that the relationship, the Dominica relationship, the current relationship of Dominica and the Chinese, is creating some concerns.
So they're scrutinizing.
Our relationship. This has been looked at, absolutely.
Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, blessings, Mr. Peltier, Mr. Thompson Fontaine, blessings to you all.
Blessings to you.
Just quickly, Doc, the Chinese ambassador said they gave up.
What's wrong with your phone, Blessings? I'm sorry, somebody didn't play to that phone. Every time you call, you're out. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, sorry to call back, but Mr. Fontaine, the question is, at the time that we've been agitating about this, monies that are unaccounted for, like $8.3 billion, I assumed, and based on what the Prime Minister said, we have money to build the airport. So we were depending on that money somewhere. Not selling new passports, but for passports that have been sold. Did you understand that?
Yes, I get that. I get that point that you're making, but that's the reason why we said it was missing. It's monies that are unaccounted for, so it's nowhere in the official pipeline. And I think the understanding was that Hayden would be able to continue to sell passports or to get new investors to be able to use that money in the project. It wasn't like the money was sitting there in an account, because you would remember, Matt, that the Prime Minister had opened an airport account, and then when Maria happened, he claimed that he wiped it out.
It was flipped
because he was putting $5 million every month from the CBI into that. Now, if he had continued doing that, the monies would have been in place, but that account was wiped out. And the hope was that new monies would be coming in to be able to finance it.
All right, I see Mr. Black Pepper trying to get in there for a minute there. Are you there, Black Pepper? Go ahead, quickly. Yes. Black Pepper.
Good day, Thompson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Thompson, I have some differences, and I want you to just try to listen to me and understand where I am coming from, please, because I take a little issue with certain things you say, nothing personal, but just how you analyze the CBI in terms of what it means to Dominica, and you keep making a statement of you will phase it out due to the fact a lot of revenue from the CBI is highly dependable on servicing a lot of debt and also the sustenance of just national income or wage bill, etc., right? No. We are going through what we are going through because of a breach of national security to do with the US, facilitated by people moving under the identity, and the passport facilitates their movements to commit such crimes on American soil or European soil. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We listen.
So that is a fact. Now, the US and the Europe, I can talk for US because I've been here 17 years. I have had the privilege to understand a high level of how the security system works, because I worked for the detective agency for a little while. So I was privy to a lot of information and they know about how they execute their duties, etc., etc. Now, the US believes in elimination. The US, when they any event, they're not trying to compromise. They're not trying to bear with you or feel sorry for you, because at the end of the day, they went through what they went through. Now, Thompson, the program cannot be in any type of discussion in the US authorities as a face-out conversation, because it is dependent on Dominica. That is not the United States business. Their business is security and to eliminate all odds against security. So when you say face out, I take issue with that. I understand why you say it, but this is not what the US wants.
Yeah,
to hear.
but Black Pepper, very, very, very quickly. Let me just indicate that to you. You understand that persons having a Dominica passport, they will not be able to get a visa based on that Dominica passport. You understand that the process of getting a visa to enter the United States, it's based upon their nationality. So, for example, if an Iranian comes to the embassy with a Dominica passport, they're not going based on the fact that he's a Dominican. They look at the country of birth and he's interviewed as an Iranian citizen. So the Dominica passport does not make it easier necessarily for you to enter the United States. I just wanted to be very clear on that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So in other words, the security threat per se in somebody having a Dominica passport and getting into the United States is not as great as, say, entering Europe, where we can just enter without visas. You understand? Because you still have to go through the visa process, and you go based on your nationality and not on your citizenship.
But why you say what you say, it's contradictory in terms of the actions that the US took. I will tell you what you just said there. If the US was to respond to protect the architect, they would have respective area. Guess what they did? They put a ban on our passport altogether in terms of entry and visa processing. So what you're saying doesn't validate the actions presently in the US, because they did not say nationals born in Dominica are not subjected to that sanction. Went across the board.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, no, but yeah, because. Mm.
Yes, that's completely the point, because we have a lot more callers coming. Yes. Are you
it has to be promoted. It has to be promoted that you have to advocate for a suspension, that they want to hear a stop, and you have to figure out, as an economist at its best, how you're going to subsidize what the CBI is doing now. That is where you
Yes, but Black Pepper, any attempt to do that will take time. You're not going to start something as you come into government and get $10 million from agriculture the following month. You know, it's just not going to happen.
Black Pepper is basically trying to integrate. Sorry again, Black Pepper, because we had to run. That he's saying that he thinks altogether you should stop the CBI
Yes, but
program.
I'm saying that is wrong-headed. You cannot say you're just going to end it. So if you end it, okay, so we come into office, let's say on the 1st of March, okay? We have a new government in office. You stop the CBI on the 1st of March. How are you going to pay your public servants on the 31st of March? How are you going to pay them? All right, because the money is not coming. You're not going to get a direct substitution. And we have already elaborated very clearly how we are going to replace the CBI. Our 10-pillar program.
You have to do it gradually.
You have to do it gradually. Our 10-pillar program has no place for the CBI. We don't even mention the CBI in our 10-pillar program, because we are fully self-sustaining. We are generating the levels of revenue that the CBI is now bringing in. That is in our 10-pillar program. But we understand that at some point we have to end it. All I'm saying is that we're not going to end it on day one. It will be ended as quickly as possible, but in a way that will not put added hardships on the country. And I think that's a responsible thing to do. You have to be responsible in the process. You cannot just go and cut off your supply source for money right away, and then you have nowhere to turn.
But too, Thompson, that the persons with economic passports are going to try to, there may be repercussions. People want their money back, and their money's worth.
Well, Matt, ending the program does not mean that you end. In fact, I mean, not even for long term. But if you've already given somebody a passport, they're already a passport. I don't believe you can take it back unless they're criminal or something. Unless there is some reason. I have to look at the laws where that is concerned. But if to revoke like willy nilly, I don't think is the right thing to do. There must be cause on which you can revoke the person's citizenship or revoke the passport.
If you find out that this person may be a criminal,
or they gave you wrong information during the process. But ending the program does not mean that you call everybody up and say, give us back our passport. I don't think that would be the right thing to do.
We have over 50,000 economic passports out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you call everybody up and say, or when they come to renew, tell them, okay, give me that passport, bye-bye, you can go away? Because they have to renew every 10 years. That service to me that is something that obviously has to be discussed further. But I believe that to me it would be wrong to just revoke all the citizenships because bear in mind, when the people came in, we are talking about punishing innocent people. Some of these people they really wanted a second passport. They love Dominica. They did it and so on. To just tell them, go away, we have your $100,000. I don't think that's going to work. And you don't have the money to repay them in any case.
Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yeah, Matt, the criminals, whoever they are on my case. Matt, I wanted to say, Thompson is saying something there, and the Chinese ambassador is saying something else, and Skerritt is saying something else. Doc, Matt, I've heard it locally. We say, you say I think over and over, and at a certain time it sticks. Even if it's lie, you lie, but it becomes the truth. Repetition builds reputation and also character. Dr. Fountain, it is being said on the ground, all you a silent night, holy night, whatever party you're running, I don't know, they say it's not UWP. Labour dead, UWP dead, Freedom dead. Only two parties is the Dominican Little Party and the UPP that just born. My brother, why all you're not being so present
in all your activities in Dominica? Tell me why.
Coming to the rally on Sunday, Blessings.
Blessings. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Okay, maybe he will come to the rally on Sunday then.
Okay. Blessings. Hoping he comes to the rally on Sunday. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Hello, talk to me. Yes. I think Blessings basically has been saying all that the United Workers Party or the opposition should change your strategy.
But man explained over and over to Blessings, and he knows that we have been on the ground in the constituencies. Just go back on Facebook; it is there. We've documented it in Delacis, in Bedica, in Cassibros, in Grand Fort, in La Plaine. We've been on the ground. We've documented it.
Good point. I was just talking to the president during my break there, Mr. Sanford, and he makes a very interesting point. If you go around with a speaker, like we see in many rallies, people don't listen because they intoxicated. They don't listen to the message. They listen to the sound. But if you go one-on-one, that may be a better approach.
Absolutely. In fact, Matt, we're doing all as we demonstrated when we were last out in Delhi about 3 Saturdays ago. We went in the house to house in the afternoon. We covered a particular area, and at the night time we had a public meeting where we invited people out and we had a public meeting, and that's the strategy that we have adopted going forward. So, we are definitely trying. I don't want anybody to have the mistaken belief that the United Workers Party is quiet or not working. We are working. Obviously, we can always do better. There's always room for improvement. So instead of being on the ground once a week, probably we should be there 5 times a week. There's always room for that kind of improvement. But there is a cost to it in terms of resources, in terms of time, in terms of people being able to commit, and all of those things we have to take into consideration. But we are working because we believe we have to get into the ear of the Dominican public, and that's what we're doing.
On the telephone, yes?
Mr. Pelte, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And Mr. Fountain.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Right. I know you're a very educated man. Do you study history, political world history from 01, 02, 03? When you look at the President of the United States, he's on a mission, not because of passport, Passport might be one of it, but if you listen to his critic in his early comments in government, he was bashing the small island, called them all nasty hole. Even the people of Somali that support him campaign in one of the states today, deporting them, and the people are protesting because he shoot 2 citizens, born American citizens. And if you hear the language some of his cabinet members saying to the Americans, you didn't study what happened under Abraham Lincoln in 1803. You didn't see the things that happened under Abraham and Kennedy, how they tried to liberate black people in America and what they suffer. We all know what they suffer, Martin Luther King. You don't see you live in America, you don't see all the difficulties black people still going through. Trump is on a mission, and it's not about just because of passport. You have to study where these people come from in Germany and what they do to the black and the Jews. It is not Caribbean people in it, Look at what is happening now. Spain is giving some 5 million people citizenship. Well, you have 5 months.
I'm really trying to get as to where you're going because you're all over the place. So what is the point that you're trying to make here? I'm asking you, what is the point you're trying to make here, sir?
You, Mr. Matt, you always want to hang me.
I'm asking you, what is the point that you're trying to make? You're all over the place. That's a simple question.
Matt, good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, talk to me. Are you there, caller? Yes, please. Just get to the point.
Matt. Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, I just heard Matt saying we have almost 50,000 economic citizenship passports out there.
Oh, over 50, yes.
Okay, so let me tell you something. I live in a tourist destination area. I haven't seen not one. I haven't seen one. You guys live in Dominica. How many of them, out of that 50,000, how many of them have you guys know personally?
How many guys do I know?
Well, there were a couple of Russians that were my neighbors at one point, I met
a few, but I don't know. I cannot say I know them. I've seen them around.
Those people don't come to Dominica. So America have full right to do what they have to do. And with the previous caller that called a while ago, like what Tom Thompson said, my brother, the Monroe Doctrine has turned to the Dongo Doctrine. It's America's fear. The big countries, we have nothing to do with it. We're small. We are very small. What can Dominica do? All the security have around him. Right about now in Montana, he's scared. You know? He's scared. Because how they just pick up Maduro like that, he's scared. Anyways, have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon, too. Thank you very much. 224, we're going to take a break in a minute, but let's take a phone call. Are you there? Yes.
Yeah, Matt, I know they're cutting me off, so I'm trying to be brief. Doc,
Okay.
let me tell you something, my brother. You see on Facebook and all you walking around, my brother, you go in Roseau for a day and you're on the ground. How many people homes can you visit? You go in St. Joe. How many people homes can you visit? That is ineffective. Or you're doing something.
No. You are dead wrong on the effect. You're talking about effectiveness is not measured by the large quantity. What you do, we take a particular area, so we say we are going to cover today in Lapland, we'll cover Cascari. So a few weeks down the road, we're going to come back, we are going to take the Lapland Central. So at the end of the day, we cover the entire area. We're not just covering one little piece and moving out. We keep coming back.
So you're saying the loudspeaker system that Blessing is suggesting will not always
No,
work?
but we can do that as well. In fact, we have a loudspeaker going out now. As we speak, there's a loudspeaker all over the countryside with our message. So it's not one over the other. You know, when you're in a battle, you use various strategies. Yes, the idea of having a loudspeaker out and reaching is a sound idea. Just so having the public meetings at the end of our outreach is also a sound idea. Just so going house to house. We should not choose one over the other.
You have to do
Let
both.
us marry all of those efforts to get the maximum. You know, no one is going to give you the maximum effect. A combination is what is going to give you the maximum effect.
Are you there? Yes.
Are you being arrogant, Thompson Fountain? I'm trying to state a point. You're cutting. I tell you, they're cutting me off already when they won.
No. We're not making
No,
those blessings.
let's say
We're having a conversation here.
I thought I was just responding to it. I thought we were having a conversation. So I don't know where you're going if you're arrogant or talking about arrogance.
Are you there now?
Yeah, you are arrogant, my brother. All you think, because all you're educated.
Blessings. I don't think we should go there. I don't think we should go there. No. He's basically saying what you're saying, but he's saying there are two ways to approach it. You don't always have to get the last word, Blessings. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Hello?
Yes, are you there? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Pat, do I come across as being arrogant this afternoon?
The line doesn't seem to be clear, but
he's asking you, does it come across as being arrogant?
No, I don't find that.
Continue.
No, I was just saying that the line doesn't seem to be very clear, but let me make a quick point. With regards to the residency, I believe that the United States wouldn't settle for no residency unless it is you have to come and live in Dominica. You want a Dominica passport, you have to come and live in Dominica. Because remember that the United States, when a visitor goes there, they normally give you 6 months. And they don't consider you a resident. Even after they give you the 6 months, they still consider you a visitor. So when one of the leaders from one of the islands came and said he gave 30 days and then discipline children, they made that. Nonsense, you don't expect. The man is given 6 months and he doesn't consider you a resident. You're coming up with one. I believe the only way I see that we can get that thing moved out of the way it is right now, I believe it will have to be, if you want a Dominica passport, you have to come and live in Dominica. End of story. Case closed. That's it.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution there. Since yesterday, I've been hearing a loudspeaker going around promoting the UWP convention. Let us support and encourage them to do more than that. That's basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Matt. That's what it's all about. It's no one person having all the answers.
Maybe you should send a speaker to the Layo community.
Yeah, I mean,
because Blessings basically is not hearing. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Oh, sorry, on the telephone, yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Yeah, I want to say, I myself, I have no expertise in nothing. All I have is common sense. So let me just give a little piece of my common sense. In terms of what Mr. Fontaine is saying, the whole thing and the phasing out of the passport, I think I go the way of the phasing out. Whereas Black Pepper saying, whenever he goes to negotiate with whoever, whichever official, or I don't know if that's exactly he said, but that is what I got from what he's saying. So if that is what he's trying to convey, I am saying that Mr. Thompson is being honest. He's not trying to say, well, he will shut it down, and then when he comes in, he continues with it still, and then he gives an excuse. He's trying to show the reason why it will be phased out and eventually halted. But at present, that is what that sustains. So he can just go and just cut it off. Because if he can just cut it off and then the country goes under, then we're going to stone him out of office. You check? We're going to say, well, the government was doing good, or you were talking all the time, and look at what you're doing now, blah, 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 and rah, 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 and them kind of things there. So we have to be reasonable, we have to be rational, and we have to look at things, the reality of things then. You understand? We have to look at the reality of things, and the man is saying it as it is. And in terms of being on the ground, like our Blessing is saying, I mean, I agree with Blessing 100%. But then again, it's just a different approach, a new approach. So we just have to give it a break, let it germinate, let us see where it goes. You understand? Because, I mean...
So, Scholar, I want to be clear. Oh, did he leave? Oh, he left. No, because he said he agreed. Was he saying that households does not work?
No, he's saying both of them should work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there, caller? It's 2:30. Then we'll take a call and a break. Hello, yes.
Are there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thanks. And good afternoon, Dr. Thompson.
Good afternoon.
I don't regard you as them kind of doctor. You are a real doctor like my uncle. Now, Dr. Thompson, Dr. Fontaine, I please ask you to have patience. Because what happens, some people believe, and I don't target anybody, and who want to check out targeting them, that is their business. It has some of us alone late. It has some of us alone on the roadside. But let me tell that, Mr. Thompson, the patience to have to be staying in Dominica and fighting for Dominica, you and a couple others, I know you can do better. First of all, if you ask Kerry for a bribe now, you have to go over. He will take you and give you more than what you did in Labour Right. And Thompson, wherever you go and hide up people, you will open the head and the surgery and put in information and they don't want to take it, they will take it. So hell with to grant you. And it's a bad thing they cultivate in Dominica with Roman fuel. So we have to just be patient, talk to the people. I just say, go along with myself, who I meeting, I talking to them. This hell, I don't know if this man wants to go and see one. Or he can just get a group and go and help us. Go and help the opposition. But what I'm saying, every time this thing I don't want to call about, I just bombarding about all this, just doing nothing. You know, talking to an ignorant man is like beating, taking your head and jamming on a wall several times. And another thing now, I got to show. America is of a white man. Doctor.
What's that?
America is no more for white people.
America's...
Yes? So what they want to be talking about Trump, they have to check about us that stayed. They check us as third class people in our Caribbean. Caribbean is for black people. So to hell, Trump should even sending them and throw acid on them and throw piss on them. Even, hey, I listen.
All right, caller. A lot of people are sending me text messages. I know Blessing may take it in the wrong way. I don't think Dr. Fontaine has been arrogant. I think you are the one being arrogant, and you have to learn to listen. You always don't have to get the final point. Your point is not always final, or should not always be final. That's how your text messages come in there. Hello, talk to me. Yes, are you there? Yes.
Yes. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. I don't think the CBI program is at fault as such, because even America and Europe have CBI programs. I think it's the implementation, the lack of transparency, the criminals that keep being caught with our passport. So in terms of ending it, I don't think ending it is really a solution, as a matter, and not now, as something said. But it can be added to the additional programs that we have for development of our economy. And I think Blessings, my partner, needs to be a little more humble and not call him an arrogant, because I did not see any arrogance where he was agreeing with him and still expressing opinions that is not just one initiation of meeting the public, but a combination. So yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Somebody says, besides an audit of all agreements, an audit on all agreements and programs has to be done since office. Dr. Fontaine cannot just make a decision without having all the information. Same question people ask the PM to have answers for now. So the person is basically saying, Thompson, when you come here, you'll do an audit as to what the situation is.
Absolutely, and that's the right thing to do. You do a forensic audit, find out where the money is, and do it in a phased and decent manner. I mean, that to me is the right way to go about it.
Somebody saying, Matt, there's a loudspeaker out there in Girardot, so it's strengthening your point.
Yes. But let me say as well, and I, let me apologize to Blessings if I came across as being arrogant. It certainly was not my idea of being arrogant. And you're going on in a direction about education, and there is no need for that, really. I think we're having a discussion, and in a discussion, opposing views or different views. You see it one way, I see it one way. You put forward your point, I put forward mine, and we move on. It's nothing but arrogance.
We have to agree to disagree sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes. Good Matt again, me here.
Yes, sir.
Second time of the day, and good afternoon to you, Dr. Fontaine.
Yes, good afternoon.
Matt, the problem here, with Blessings, I know you take me to task for that, is that, Matt, we are accustomed. We have grown accustomed of hearing loudspeaker talking, and when he's meeting, having loudspeaker. We have never had that thing where people. It's only Rosie did that a little bit, going to people's houses and talk and so on. So Blessings maybe is stuck on that, wanting plenty loud noise and so on. I believe that going to people's home and talking to them one by one, if people feel nicer that you come to their home and speak to them, that it will go down better with them than you're on the road talking loud. Some people don't like the loud noise in their head all the time. So it's just that we are so accustomed to that kind of thing. My brother Blessings cannot get out of it. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you. Somebody said, man, I just went to Goodwill on our go and I saw a loudspeaker going around the spread. So there are loudspeakers going out there.
Yeah. And Matt, also, the fact of the matter is that, people will respond to you differently. And also the size of the country, the size of Dominica allows for that kind of personal approach, You can do it if you plan it well. You can actually reach every single house.
All right. No. So somebody say no apologies needed, Dr. Fontaine. 2:36 is the afternoon time. We're going to take a break for a word from our sponsors. We'll come right back. This is the Talk on the Block. Stick around.
Oh, yeah, so there we go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Grand Bay to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, Tullamoon, the United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand 4 playing field, yes, the Grand 4 playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. At what time? We're starting from 12 noon with our next Prime Minister under the theme, putting Dominica first, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that boat serving me, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, a Sunday, February 1st, the Grand 4 playing field. Putting Dominica first, the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the do? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swingers Bank. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30. Come see who's going to meet the Queen. Guest artists Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation. One done. It's all about Kaiser semi-finals. Saturday, 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Tropita Water, Henneken Beer, Flow Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlet, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Becky's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBS Radio, Adam Song, The Factory.
KFC. KFC. Looking for some place to go. Needles for soul. KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
All you, I just meet Goldwyn in Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? So, fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? I'm in my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. Tu paga respecte moi. But it could even pay for parler. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to make it through. Who's going to stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Calypsonians going to be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swings of Band. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Yes, that is Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation, Kwan Dan. It's all about Calcio semifinals, Saturday, 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Tropita Water, Henneken Beer, Flow Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlet, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Becky's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBS Radio, Adam Songs, The Factory, BB Rum.
All right, Dominica. Hello, it's 2:41 in the afternoon. I'm getting some interesting voice notes from Blessings.
Matt, well, let me just say to Blessings directly. You know, I welcome his advice. I am always open to receiving advice. So, you know, if we are going wrong, I want to know. You know, I want to hear from different people. You know, if Blessings can advise, I'm prepared to sit and talk to him and listen to what he have to say. You know, I am open, not only Blessings, but anybody out there, you know, who wants to offer advice, you know, please do. We want to get this thing right. We don't have all the answers.
But you were not rejecting Blessings?
No, I was not, but I want to understand that because he said I came across as being arrogant. I want him to understand it's nothing about his point of view, that we welcome it. But at the same time, you know, it's an exchange that we have. I thought we were having an exchange. But I'm telling him now that he's welcome to sit with me and discuss and his ideas and so on. I'm very open to it.
Hello, 242. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, so to be honest, I was saying, I don't know where I got caught up, but I was saying I kind of agree with what Blessings is saying in terms of being out there with speakers and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I was still saying now that Mr. Thompson is a different leader, and the technique and the strategy that was being used before is a different strategy he's trying to implement. So we just have to give it a chance, give the process a chance to see how it works and where it goes. You understand? Because it's not all pressure that is good pressure, and he's a man, he's just one man. It doesn't make sense if they're trying to fight us and argue with us and try to tell us this and that. He needs his brain cells for him to think of other things otherwise and to make things happen, you know. Because for me, if I was in Mr. Thompson's place, man, I never come in Dominica and try to represent Dominicans, you know. I'm telling you straight off. You understand? With my qualification, I just stay where I am and I do my work and check my scene, my brother. That is just too much unnecessary stress, you know. Because in Dominica, it's like we don't know what we want. I don't know if it's linear we have, but something is wrong with us. You know? So I just want to tell Mr. Thompson, be of courage and just do what you have to do, my brother. In between, listen to your people and try to implement whatever that is, and that can be implemented and is applicable to the situation at hand. Just do what you have to do, my brother, and keep being yourself. Try to be honest. Be honest, because politicians, if you tell me, and if you ask me, I'll tell you, politicians, they have very little truth in them. So do not deceive the people. Do not deceive me. Stay true. And if you stay true, things will happen for you and for us and for everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Somebody's asking
Thank you.
about a representative for the Soufriere constituency. Somebody wants to know whether you are already discussing or having discussions with anybody, possibility of a Soufriere.
Yes, definitely, Matt. We're having discussions with a couple individuals there. We've not settled on any person as yet. Not only in the Soufriere constituency, but throughout the island. We are in the process of identifying candidates. We're in the process of talking to people. And yeah, so that is ongoing, definitely.
Now, what is the strategy for Sunday? A lot of speakers.
Yeah, we'll have a few new persons. We'll introduce a few new speakers. Some of them may be candidates in the future. We'll also have a nice variety. There will also be performances. We're having some, because it's not we're in a very kind of a festive season as well. So we want to not move completely away from that. So we want to have both the serious part of it with the entertainment. So we'll have a nice kind of festive atmosphere. People meeting people. So for example, somebody you've not seen from Cottage all over these years, you might just meet them in Grand Fond after many years, because they will be there, that kind of thing. So it's that kind of community spirit we want to encourage. And yeah, we'll have some really, really good speakers as well, but also good entertainment by Calypsonians and bouillon artists.
Somebody mentioned the name Monel Williams. Will she be on the stage?
Monel will be on the stage, yes.
Okay. Let's listen to this.
I vex, man. I vex.
What are you vexed about? Let me know what you're vexed about.
My friend Fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, they have to respect each other. You did not say anything about education. Just a different opinion. He know yours. He can speak on what he's speaking. You were speaking on what he was speaking. He feel you shouldn't. I mean, that's where he should respect you. He could have asked the question, "What do you mean by what he said?" And then you would explain to him. But he didn't. He didn't understand that. He wanted to tell you about education. There's no way you talk about that. Or you would never tell him he don't have education. Because he himself say he went to school and he didn't learn. At least now he has common sense and knowledge. He can talk. But there's no way he can do your work. If he feel he's more educated than you, become an economist right away and say what he's supposed to do. Tell you what to do. I mean, people have to respect people, He should respect you. I am listening. I didn't hear that.
I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having an exchange there, and Dr. Fountain noticed a lot of insults. But I wouldn't do that. And blessings. I've always said, and he knows that. You cannot always have the last word, my brother. You cannot always have. You have to respect each other's opinion. You cannot always have the last word. Some people think I allow blessings on the radio too much, and people get turned off. But I will always give him a chance.
The chance, yes, indeed, Matt,
I always give him a chance.
Yeah, and then also, you see, we've spent probably about almost quite a lot of time referring to blessings, but there were a number of Dominicans, as well, that are facing hardships and especially, and that's why we are doing this. I'm here this afternoon, and the caller just said if he was in my position, he would not be in Dominica. I'm here this afternoon because I get a tremendous amount of satisfaction from seeing a farmer, plant his produce, and at the end of the day, he can get something out of it.
So you get Matt.
Yeah, man, Matt. That gives you immeasurable joy. To see the farmers, to see the joy in the farmer's face. Mm-hmm. I remember, a few years ago when we were doing the Matnik run, and I remember giving a guy $3,500 for his spice, and the guy counted that thing in front of me about 4 times, man. He started to cry, because that is the first time he was like handling just for his spice. He got like $3,500. And the man counted that over and over again, and he just burst out in tears. That gives me, a tremendous amount of satisfaction. And these are the kind of things that makes it work for me. As I've said publicly, I am not beholden to wealth. I mean, I could be in the US driving a big car, living in a big house, but that's just not me. That's just not my makeup. For some people, that works fine. It does not work for me. What works for me is the joy I get from seeing people rise from where they are to see a person go to school. And that's why, Matt, when I was a teacher, I put all my effort into teaching to ensure that the students got the education that they could move on. That is what makes me tick. That's my makeup.
All right. So somebody says in 2008, Barack Obama won the election by he mobilizing people going to house. His strategy.
Matt, from all the strategies I've read, I've always learned that house to house is probably the best way in politics, So I'm a bit surprised that it does not work in Dominic, but it works. As I said, the ability to talk to people. And the amazing thing about this is that we have been to labor strongholds. We have been to the apartment buildings where the majority of people are Labour Party supporters, and they open the doors to you. I mean, what more do you want to be able to go and sit and talk to them? I mean, that to me is a godsend.
We've been talking and we spoke yesterday about a united force, of course, to defeat the Dominica Labour Party. We also had a session yesterday with Mr. Joshua and Lofty. And everybody was talking about, are they invited to come to this?
Oh yes, Matt. Yes, I opened that invitation to them. I hope they can come. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe this idea is not so much unity as pulling together. Coming together for collaboration is the word. In fact, I got a very good word from Gordon Henderson. It's called coalescence.
Oh.
Coalesce. You coalesce or collaboration when you come together. Coming together, it does not mean this thinking the same thing, because you can be unified and you have different approaches, different thoughts. People think that unity means conformity, that you have to agree with everything the other person says. No, it does not mean that. Within that collaboration, you will have different views. Like I have a view that, we have to stick to the house doors as much as possible. Another person might say, no, you need to do something else. But at the same time, we understand what our role is, what our goal is. And our goal is to get this government off the backs of the Dominican public so that Dominica can actually breathe, Dominica can live again. That is our goal. So everybody that share that view, we collaborate and we see how best we can remove this government. And that should, at the end of the day, should be what we aim for.
On the telephone, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, hello.
That's your old friend in Solomon Lane, living behind the hospital. I am giving you some money. The money is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It said, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your heart. Put it in your mind. Put it in your shoes. Everywhere you see the hole, put it in. That is what is going to bring you fruit. Depending on God, the arm of flesh will fail you. But if you trust in God and put your whole heart, as I give you that proverb there, that's not the first time I'm giving to you. Put it in your pocket and walk with it. Everywhere you take, put it in your house, anywhere you can put it, and remember that it's your scripture. That's the only thing. And keep your eyes upon God.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to the next phone call. Are you there?
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good. Hi, Doc.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay. Matt, I sitting there and the same thing I was saying, someone just called us and I messaged you about it because I was in the States in 2008. And that's when Obama was campaigning and everything. And the same thing, Matt. Obama was doing a lot of house-to-house interacting and everything. Not himself, but his agents and everybody. And I think that helped him to win the election more fast. Secondly, Matt, I just want to tell Dr. Thompson Fountain that he's the leader of the party and don't let nobody frustrate him. He's doing a very good job and I appreciate what he's doing and I am supporting him 100%, just as how I supported all the other leaders then. As long as you're the leader of the party, I show my support behind you. And once I see that you're going wrong, I will pull up myself because wrong is wrong and right is right. I want to tell you, continue the good work, continue looking out for your people because you don't have to be in Dominica. You don't have to be there, but because you love for your people and country, that's why you are there. And I'm telling you, like, nobody frustrates you. Do what you have to do. You're doing a very good job, and you have my full support. God bless you. God bless Dominica and the people.
God bless you too. God bless you too.
It's all here, so let me go. People from the north, south, east, and west, from Granby to Portsmouth, Salisbury to Lapland, Tullamoon, the United Workers' Party presents the massive Grand National Rally, where the Grand Four playing field, yes, the Grand Four playing field, when Sunday, February 1st, 2026. And our next Prime Minister under the theme Putting Dominica First, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Come be part of great music, real talk, and entertainment. Of course, and great food. Macklin, I find you off that boat certainly, Papa. Remember, it's February 1st, a Sunday, February 1st, the Grand Four Plainfield. Putting Dominica First, the United Workers' Party.
Yeah, I wonder who's gonna make it through. Who's gonna stay in the queue? Yes, it's all about Kaiser semi-finals, Saturday, 31st January 2026, 8:30 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium. 20 great Californians gonna be battling. Only 9 could make it to the finals. So you got to be there. They're backed up by the Swings Band. Early bird tickets $50, regular $60, seating $80, VIP $130, pay-per-view $30 US. Come see who's gonna meet the Queen. Guest artists Queen Joy and Booyah Sensation Kwan Dan. It's all about Calcio semi-finals, Saturday 31st January, 8:30 p.m. sharp at the Windsor Park. Sponsored by Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Top Peter Water, Henneken Beer, Flow Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Jungle Bay, Domlek, Fresh Market, Do It Center, Big Edge, Becky's Pizza, ICWI, Carry FM, Vibes Radio, QFM, DBX Radio, Adam Songs, The Backstreet,
I just me goal winning Rosa again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? So, fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? I'm my pocket the boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. To pack a spetting way. But at Kadima Pepper Palais, I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Floss's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Floss's can't do it to you.
All right, Dominica, we're going back to the telephone. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Matt, and good afternoon to Dr. Thompson Fontaine. I refer to him the next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica and the person who is going to bring the changes that we deserve, both economically and otherwise. And this is a great man that have put a lot of effort, to ensure that Dominica is a better place. And trust me, it will happen. But Matt, more so, let me just tell you, February 1st, 2025, the Grand Four Plainfield. I know that the people of the Rosa Valley, let me big them up one time. I put in the forces together to be down there. All roads lead to, of course, Grand Four in the national rally. Okay, putting Dominica first. We'll have speakers from all over. We'll have entertainment and so forth. And Matt, I see the weather holding up already, so even that will be on our side. Things will work out nice. I'm asking all patrons, all constituents to get the buses ready, and sometimes I've always said to people, when you're supporting a cause and you know that you want the change, sometimes you have to do something, you have to get up early, you have to do what you have to do, you have to get on a bus, and sometimes people are expecting us to reach out to everybody, and sometimes it can be challenging. So my cry here now is to tell people the road lead to Grand Four is going to be a wonderful event. Big up to the president of the United Workers' Party and the entire executive. And of course, our political leader, to see all the constituents. And of course, we're inviting all Liberites. As a matter of fact, I have a few Liberites that say they're going to come and listen to the message. They will be around me and by me because they want to listen to the messages. We have good hope for the people of Dominica. And of course, I know that, Matt, you will be there. I'm sure you're going to be there.
I will be there.
Okay, excellent. God bless you and God bless the radio station. God bless the people of Dominica while we try our best to make Dominica a better place to live and enjoy life. We have to do it, people, collectively. We can make things happen. Okay, we can make things happen. And my cry is to all Dominicans, the road leads to Grand Four on the 1st of February 2026 from 12 noon. See you there.
All right, Ronald, thank you very much. Somebody just indicated to me whether you have plans. I know you visited Day Wash with that crisis there. Another crisis taking place in the south of the Peach Lane landslides. Do you plan to visit that area anytime?
Yes, Matt, sure. I just came in yesterday, but the plan is to go there at some point. Yeah, soon
All
to
right.
see for myself. Yes.
More telephone calls. Are you there? Yes.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
I want to thank Dr. Thompson for his patience and his calmness. He's so humble under pressure. Like, I never see the man got to even getting vexed in what you call him name and so on. That is a very good thing of a good leader. Dr. Thompson, I think you on the right path, not making anybody force you to do the things you know you're supposed to do. As a responsible leader, you have to make sure you understand the entire thing. You cannot rush into it, at least because tomorrow, if you rush into anything and just tell people, well, go and do this and do that, anything happens, will blame you. You're doing the right thing. Bear patience. Go for as you say you're going through, and you'll prevail. You'll prevail. So you're doing a good job. I know it's a difficult time, but do not go and find yourself in a big thing and well. Do it as you're doing it quietly. Eventually, you'll see what you are. Okay? Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. All right, Dominica, 3 o'clock is the afternoon time.
Dr. Fontaine and all Dominicans. Matt, I tend to agree with Dr. Fontaine when he said that he would gradually end the program and not just.
I think we have to lower the speed there. It's a little too quick there. So let's see if we can lower down the speed there. Okay? Let's go now.
Good afternoon, Matt, Dr. Fontaine, and all Dominicans. Matt, I tend to agree with Dr. Fontaine when he said that he would gradually end the program and not just automatically end it. And why the gradual suspension? I agree with everything that he says. As the economist, and the fact that the government of Dominica has not put any other thing in place for the past 25 years. Say passport, you take a van, according to Joseph Isaac, as hot bread. And then if you were to gradually end it, if you were to just end it immediately, then what else? On Black Pepper's point, when he said that the U.S. is not concerned about the gradual suspension of the program, that may be true. But I view the visa ban on those CBI passports as an automatic cancellation, because if they have banned the program, they have banned the people with those CBI passports from entering the countries. Then you have a passport in your hand and it can take you to the destined countries where you would want to go. But again, this was how this guy, whatever his name is, Nanton, that was how he promoted the program. He promoted the program as a second passport to take the passport buyers to other countries where the indigenous passports could not take them. So when you market a program like that, then of course it does not live up to the expectations of the program, where the people would have to invest in the country or even live in the country for a certain number of years to be considered, citizens. What they were interested in is the fast money, the big bucks. The more corrupted those people were, is the higher the price of the passport was. So now that the US and Canada and the EU have a ban on those programs, then I don't see how these people are going to navigate those countries with the CBI passport. Now they talk about America having the same CBI program, and they like to draw reference to what happens in America and what have you. But America's CBI is not like that. It's not like that, because you do not get a visa and get citizenship in America without visiting the country or without investing a certain amount of money and provide the jobs required under that contract. So I don't know what they're talking about when they like to make that reference to America has the same citizenship by investment. Matt, on the subject of how it is done, the campaigning is done, and what have you. As an insurance agent, I believe in cold canvas, cold canvassing is more effective when you meet the people face to face. There are some discussions that you just need to have around the kitchen table. I think it is a more effective approach. I am not dismissing the fact that you need to probably be on the speakers. You need to call the meeting and stuff like that. Yes, you have to, because we are used to doing it that way. But we cannot say that the cold canvassing where we meet the people face to face is not a proper way, or is not an effective way. I think, as Dr. Fountain indicated, that we have to bring, all our strategies together, and, in order to reach the people, not just radio, not just the one-on-one, but the meetings, and of course, the rally that is going to be held in La Plaine, or is it La Plaine or Grand Fort? Matt, I just want to wish that rally, is successful. I want to urge the Dominican people to turn out, and Dr. Fountain and your team, I wish you all well. I hope the weather holds, and I hope that there's no stumbling block that is going to be placed in the way of the rally that will cause people not to turn out. So Dominicans, I wish you well, and I am not there in person, but I am there in spirit. And as I always said, if I were in Dominica, I would have been in that rally. I would have attended the rally. So Dominicans, please, I urge you to come out, turn out, support the rally. Let us bring our unity. Let us bring our message together, because we have a Go Wash Ashimia for the past 20-something years that we needed to remove. Whether we have to put a dynamite in the rock and break it up, but we have to remove that big rock there. From there. Thank you, Mato. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I didn't know that you could speak a little Creole, Marceline. You surprised me there. It's 3:05. Somebody's asking a very interesting question. Will you invite the folks like Delbert and Lennox to come as well?
Not everybody. We talk about collaboration. Everybody is invited. I mean, we're inviting labor rights. We're inviting everybody's invited. It's as I said, it's a great time to come together around issues of interest, and in a way, I'm quite humbled by this, Matt, and the fact that we are doing it in Grand Fort has extra meaning to me as well. And what it signifies, what it signals, is our seriousness about reviving the agriculture sector in Dominica, and that's where it starts. Offering hope to the people and letting them see that agriculture can actually go somewhere. I'm a product of agriculture, and a proud one, and I'll never forget that all my life.
All right, somebody's asking, can you ask Dr. Fontaine, as my former teacher, if he has any information as to how much we may be owing China?
No, I'm not sure on the figure, but that is something I need to look at. The last time I saw some numbers in terms of what the government offered, we were in the region of 300 million, but I'm not sure what it is now.
All right, let's just take a quick break. We're coming back, Dominica. We're going to be in a minute there. Thank you very much. Somebody's asking you whether you would dare to give some advice to the new Prime Minister of St. Vincent as to what he's thinking is CBI.
Well, I think he's having second thoughts. I think he had mentioned that he was going to go into it full time, but I think he's looking at it very carefully, and he's probably trying to find a way that he can still continue with it in a manner that is safe and would not attract that kind of scrutiny.
All right. Let's continue here. We don't have too much more time. Any final comments you want to give?
But sure, before we end, also, I just wanted to extend, condolences to Mr. Delbert Paris and his family, and as well as his dad, and on the passing of his mom. Certainly want to extend sincere condolences to him, and just asking that he holds strong. It's a very, very difficult time, of course, for him and his family, but we just pray for strength during this very, very, very difficult time. And Matt, just, finally, I would really like to encourage, persons to come out tomorrow on Sunday I'm anxious. It's really Sunday. We start at 12 o'clock. If you can get there in Grand Fall Road. As I said, Grand Fall is just a 35, 40-minute drive from Roseau. It's a very pleasant drive, So if you've not been out for a while, great opportunity. Jump into your vehicle, bring a friend along with you, and let's have a great time in Grand Fall. The weather, we suspect, will be excellent, and we're going to have a really wonderful time.
A lot of people seem concerned about this weekend opening carnival in La Plaine that may affect that activity. Your thoughts?
Matt, I don't think that's going to impact us. Yes, some people want to go, but they have the choice of doing both, actually. So, you can actually get they have the choice of doing both. Ours is very early in the afternoon, very early afternoon, and we should be done relatively, quickly. So I would encourage you, if you're already going to La Plaine, make a stop in Grand Fall. Grand Fall is actually before you get to La Plaine. So make a quick stop and be a part of it, But we're not concerned about it. People are really going to be there. And also, if you're in the Roseau Central area, the buses will be at Burton's, all right? In Burton's shop there in Roseau, that is where the buses are leaving from. We'll be giving you more information on buses from the Roseau North and other areas. We'll give that to you.
Some people are asking about the South. Buses from the South.
Yes, we have buses from Grand Bay. We have buses from Sophia, Pont Michel. All of these, every single constituency, we have arranged for buses. So just reach out to the caretakers of those constituencies. The buses will be there. So no excuses. If you want to come, you will have the opportunity, even if you don't have your own vehicle.
Let me hear from Mr. Leonard Matthew.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to your listeners. Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Matt, I heard the Dr. Fontaine mention the H-1B and students are innocent and paying the price, and Dominicans, ordinary Dominicans, are having to suffer for what certain individuals in the government have done. I don't know if you have to read my text, but I'm sending you this message because we seem to not understand that the government is acting on our behalf. And if the government has gone rogue or is doing things that are unconstitutional or things that are illegal or things like they've been doing for our passports and we've sat silent and done or said nothing, then we are accepting the government operating on our behalf. When we accept the funds from the CBI, we complain it's wrong, but we accept that as the only source of revenue. Then when the effects of those actions come, everyone is going to pay for it because we are their bosses. And if the bosses of the employees do not control the employees and tell the employees what they're doing is wrong and either sanction them, remove them, then when the negative repercussions from those actions come, we are not innocent. We are all guilty because we allow our employees to violate the law, to abuse our system, abuse the governance, and frankly, the population pays for it. And that should be the reason why we should stand up and do what needs to be done to get rid of any government that comes in office and ensure that there will never be a Roosevelt spirit again in our government system.
Thank you. Thompson, your final comments?
My final comments is to give a big shout out and thank you to the executive of the United Workers' Party, our president, our entire executive, for the guys who are now out on the road. They've been out since, I believe, on Monday, across Dominica, Bernie Ryan and Mr. Dupy and others who have been working tirelessly to ensure the success. Mr. Ronald Charles, just turbocharged, doing everything possible to make it successful. To all those who have been working hard, big up to you. To those who have not wished us well, we hope we see you there on Sunday. It's open to every single person. And we're expecting a very successful event. And I know the people of Grand Fall are excited and waiting to welcome all of you.
A lot of people want to see, was asking whether asking whether it will be carried live by, going viral.
Matt, we thought hard about that. We thought probably we should just make sure people come to enjoy the experience.
What about the international?
But we understand for the international. I wish there was a way we could put a blackout on Dominica and then just have it for those in the diaspora. But it will certainly be on the workers page as well as emo and other outlets.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Mr. Tom Fontaine. We'll be talking to you very soon, maybe after the event sometime. Okay.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Calfa P, batting for too long as we go.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. The way we got take control in the game. It's quiet. When you know why the other countries scoring more than we. Never want to be attacked. Always just like a rock. And you know we don't like that. Kind of hardship. Under this leadership, we cannot stop anymore. Somebody hold him, just hold him. The man that's in for too long, but making no stop. Somebody hold him, just hold him. The man that's in for too long, but making no fall. All we do is choking, making no heat, making nothing. The man that's in for too long, but making no show. See that. Mark my words. The batsmen that we have better than them. See when we stay. We get not go feel the same. No more again. Why is only in stress? Take she out of the darkness. She needs some happiness. Choose a new thing to represent them again. Somebody hold him, just hold him. The man that's been for too long, but making no stop. Somebody hold him, just hold him. The man that's been for too long, but making no fall. All he do is choking, making no heat, making nothing. The man that's been for too long, but making no show. See Pull the man out. We are run out of some pounds of gold load. Let me man out. Oh yes, we are back up on here. Hey, they used to play. Hey, they used to play. Laura time expire, you got to go brother retire. You won't get the playing smart. Why you fucking getting fat? Or you kissing us with fat? So right now, because this new ball is time to get you out. But you pull him, just hold him, hold him. The man's been for too long, but taking no stop. So come hold him, just hold him, hold him. The man's been for too long, but taking no stop. Only do choking, making noise, making nothing. The man's been for too long, but taking no stop. See that.